Imagine you are running a small business and have a spreadsheet filled with sales data. But how can we use Excel function to derive meaningful insights from this information? Let's explore step by step. Our first concern is to determine the total revenue generated from this sales data. To do this in Excel, we use the sum function to add up the total column, which effectively sums up the revenues from all recorded sales. In Excel, the formula sum from E2 to E31 calculates the sum of all values in the total column from cell E2 to E31. Now let's find out how many units were sold in a given month. Using Excel, we utilize the sum function to add up the number of units sold for that month. The formula equals sum from C2 to C31 calculates the total units sold column C. What if we want to find the day with the fewest units sold? Excel mean function helps us with that. Additionally, we can pair it with the index and match functions to find the corresponding date. Equal mean C2 to C31 gives us the lowest value in the number of units sold column. Then equal index from B2 to B31 matches with B35 from C2 to C31, and for the exactly match we use 0, retrieves the date corresponding to the minimum value from the date column B. Conversely, to find the day with the most units sold, we utilize Excel's max function. Similar to the previous scenario, we combine it with index and match functions to fetch the date. Equal max from C2 to C31 gives us the highest value in the number of units sold column. Then equal index from B2 to B31 matches with B36 from C2 to C31, and for the exactly match we use 0, retrieves the date corresponding to that maximum value from the date column. Determining the number of days in a given month is essential for a various analysis. Calculates the number of days in the month of the date present in cell B2. The EOMonth function helps us identify the last day of that particular month. Finally, calculating the average daily revenue can give us insights into regular income patterns. This can be computed by dividing the total revenue by the number of days in the month. Equal B33 divided by B37 divides the total revenue in cell B33 by the number of days in the month in cell B37. Often data might contain unnecessary space which can cause issues. Our first task is to remove those extra spaces in the reseller name column B. We use trim function equal trim B2 which remove extra spaces within the cell content while retaining essential space between words. In cell B2, we use trim. It will transform B2 cell by removing the extra spaces before and after the text. It's essential to maintain consistency in data presentation, like capitalizing the first letter of city name in city column E. The proper function equal proper D2 capitalize the first letter of each word in a text string. The city entry in cell D2 applying proper will change it, ensuring the correct capitalization. Sometimes we need to extract specific word or phrase from a text. Let's say we want to extract states from the state name column and New York from the same column in different cell. For states, we use the left function equal left H2, 6. The word states is always 6 characters long. For New York, we utilize the right function equal right H2, 8. New York is always 8 character long. There might be instances where we need to merge information from different columns. Let's combine entries from column G and I. We employ the CONCAT function equal CONCAT and the first cell we want to merge. Then and use a space and then put the last cell that we want to merge, which concats or join text from different cell with a space in between. Now let's extract specific text from entries and modify them. Consider extracting USA and converting it to block capitals from the head office column. Using the meet function equal meet the cell which is H2 and from the starting letter which is 8 and then how many character, which is 3. Starting from the 8 character and extracting 3 characters, we obtain USA, then equal upper the cell which is L2 converts USA to block capitals USA in cell M2. Now our task involves determining the time remaining until the project deadline. We aim to calculate both the calendar days and the number of working days left until the deadlines. In cell B1, we input the current date, then using the formula equal D5 subtract with $B$1. In cell E5, we find the difference between the deadline date in D5 and the current date in B1, giving us the total calendar days. For working days excluding holidays, we utilize the NETWORKDAYS function in cell F5, considering the range of holidays in cell from J5 to J26. Extracting specific elements like the month and year from a date can offer valuable insights. Let's extract the month and year from the deadline date in D5. Using the month function in cell G5 equal month D5. Extract the month value from the deadline date and in cell H5 which is equal year D5. We extract the year value. Once we have formulated these calculations for a single row, it's essential to replicate this across the entire dataset for comprehensive analysis. Copying this formula down from row 5 to row 9 allows us to calculate these values for each project entry in our dataset. The VLOOKUP functions searches for a value in the first column for a table and returns a value in the same row from another column. It's useful for finding correspondent values vertically. Suppose we have a table of products information containing products name and their respective prices. We want to find the price of a specific product using VLOOKUP. To find the price of the laptop, we will use the formula where laptop is the lookup value from A2 to B6 represent a table range, and 2 specifies the column index for prices, and false ensures an exact match. The HLOOKUP functions searches for a value in the first row of a table and returns a value in the same column from another row. It's useful for finding corresponding values horizontally. Suppose we have a table of student information with IDs and their respective grades in different subjects. To find the grade of a student 103 in English, we will use the formula equal HLOOKUP open parenthesis and in the quotation type English and give the range from A2 to E6 and matches with 103 and give the column range which is A2 to A6, then type 0, add +1, then comma and false, then close parenthesis, where English is the lookup value and A2 to E6 represent the table range and matches 103, A2 to A6, 0 +1 finds a row offset for student 103's grade and the false ensures an exact match. XLOOKUP is a versatile and powerful function introduced in later versions of Excel that can search both vertically and horizontally and perform approximate and exact matches. Suppose we have a table of employee information with IDs and their respective salaries. We want to find the salary of a specific employee. To find the salary of employee with ID 104, we will use the formula equal HLOOKUP open parenthesis 104, from cell A2 to A6, then C2 to C6, then close parenthesis, where 104 is the lookup value and from A2 to A6 represents the ID column and from C2 to C6 represent the salary column. Index and matches function works together to look up values within a range. Index returns a value in a table based on the row and column numbers, while match finds the position of a value within a range. Let's use index or match to find Michel's science score. To find Michel's science score, we will use the formula equal index open parenthesis from C2 to C6 and match with Michel from A2 to A6, 0, where C2 to C6 represents the science scores. Michelle is the student name, and from A2 to A6 represents the list of the students. Indirect function returns the reference specified by a text string. Let's use indirect to dynamically refer to a specific cell. Suppose we want to refer to the cell containing Emily's English score. We will use the formula equal indirect open parenthesis in the quotation type D and match with in the quotation type Emily, then comma from A2 to A6, again comma, then type 0, where D represents the column for English score and matches finds Emily's position in the list of students. And there you have it. Excel helps us to understand our data and our decisions smarter. Keep practicing and exploring. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey today.